We are currently going through the book of Zechariah in a thematic study, looking at certain doctrines, certain themes, certain concepts that are found in the book. And chapters 10 and 11 contain one of those paradoxes that I mentioned in my last presentation. Chapter 10 speaks of the glorification and the restoration of Judah. But then all of a sudden, in chapter 11, it does a complete reversal, a complete about-face. Now, I just want to point out a couple of things very, very quickly. In chapter 11, verses 1 through 3, it says, "Open your doors, O Lebanon, that fire may devour your cedars. Wail, O Cypress, for the cedar has fallen, because the mighty trees are ruined. Wail, O oaks of Bashan, for the thick forest has come down. There is the sound of wailing shepherds, for their glory is in ruins. There is the sound of roaring lions, for the pride of Jordan is in ruins." Now, look, Lebanon and Bashan. Bashan is a really fascinating concept in the Old Testament, by the way. Anyway, Lebanon and Bashan are, Lebanon is north of Jerusalem. But here's an interesting thing for you to consider. It's just food for thought. I'm not making any huge theological point on it. But Lebanon was a symbolic reference for the temple among rabbis. Why? Well, because the cedars that built the temple, that helped beautify the temple, the cedars were from where? Lebanon. And so in the Jewish thought, Jewish mentality, very, very often when you spoke of Lebanon being destroyed, guess what you were doing? You were actually speaking of the destruction of the temple, destruction of the city by extrapolation. As a matter of fact, it's really interesting that Rabbi Yohanan Zakkai, in the year 30 A.D., now think about this, in 30 A.D., Rabbi Ben Zakkai commented on Zechariah chapter 11. "Open your doors, O Lebanon, that fire may devour your cedars," and said that it was a prediction of a coming destruction of Jerusalem. How interesting is that? Well, one thing for certain, if Zechariah chapter 11 was in fact using the term Lebanon as a cipher, as a symbol for the Jerusalem temple, then it most assuredly was predicting that very thing, that is, a coming destruction of the temple. And from the time of Zechariah until AD 70, there was not a destruction of the temple. Now, was Jerusalem besieged? Was Jerusalem attacked? Yes, even under Ptolemy in 63-64 AD. But no destruction of the temple took place. So it is fascinating that Zechariah chapter 11, after speaking in chapter 10 of the glorification, of the restoration of Judah, Jerusalem, and the temple, it now turns and predicted the destruction of the temple, and the only destruction that matches that prediction of the destruction of the Cedars of Lebanon occurred in AD 70. You see, Zechariah is really an incredible, incredible book. But there's way much more that we're about to see from this great book. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you on the flip side. And don't forget, I have an awful lot of this and a whole lot more in my book, Who Is This Babylon? I show the correspondence between Zechariah and Revelation. I'm telling you, Zechariah and Revelation are just hand in glove. It's amazing. get the book. Hey, you have a great day. We'll see you on the flip side.